Good morning to you. It must be 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Friday, 11/20 of 2020. Somebody needs to go explore that number. 11/20 of 2020 as November winds down. I'm Brandon Hardison for another edition of Hardison'S Tips as we wind down and November is going away. We give you tips for major account, key account, up and down the street, in home sales, retail, automotive. And let's get right to it because you're trying to get out the door and make it a good Friday. So, we just have some tips for some new sellers that are out there. I've been interviewing this week some new salespeople for an industry and just wanted to share some of the things. I was recently asked if you were mentoring a new salesperson, what would be your top 5 tips and how did you learn those? And all of them are good questions. There's many questions about sales. Sales is so beautiful. Nothing can be done in capitalism without that sales piece being in there. So the very first one, focus on making a difference, not just getting a sale. Nobody really is going to remember you, but they're going to remember what you did for them and their organization. That's what you want to make sure of. Focus on the difference. After all, they are extremely interested in shortening their sales cycle. You can be the preferred vendor no matter what change the VPs make at the top because of that one gesture that you did. Also, slow down so you can speed up. And here's what I mean. This was one of the most hardest things for me to learn when I first started selling. I was so eager to be successful like so many other people are. I would try to wow my presentations with great product knowledge and I'd close often and early. But the more I tried to rush things, the more restraint to moving forward with the prospects became. And that's because they threw out the obstacles and objections that I couldn't overcome. And when I learned to slow down and give practical information out over multiple meetings and simply advance the sales process one step at a time, suddenly the sales increase. So we know that you're new, we know that you're nervous, but slow down. Let's make sure we're involved. We listen. We make sure that the customer heard us by repeating it back. And I guarantee you go a long way. Also, we know you're scared, you're new out there, and especially if you're out on the street, it can be kind of daunting sometimes. Also, pay the price of admission. What does that mean? Do pre call research. To get into big companies, you can't make 100 cold calls saying the same thing to everyone. Several years ago, corporate decision makers stopped answering their phones and rolled all calls to voicemail. They deleted most messages within seconds because they sound like salespeople making their sales pitch. I discovered that the only way to capture the attention of these type of decision makers was to create a very personalized message based on in-depth research about what they do. Now, once I started doing this, I started setting up more appointments. Now, what do we have to do? Do some homework, research. Another thing, create an account entirely on a campaign. Now, it takes normally 7 to 10 contacts to crack into a corporate account these days. Most sellers give up after 3 or 5 attempts. If you want to set up a meeting with a corporate decision maker, plan multiple touches from the onset. It takes a while to break through their busy, busy, busy meeting schedule. Takes a lot of time to break through that. So if you do have a plan and in your head, okay, that was only one, I have 9 more to go. Keep at it and you will be soon. And once you're seen, then I know you will shine. Analyze your sales approach from your customer's shoes. And it's not important about what we say because salespeople love to speak. The only thing that matters is what your customers hear. For example, when I was trying to reach a decision maker a while back, I decided to leave the message on my own voicemail first to see how I sounded. When I listened to my message, I didn't care for it. I sounded pathetic. So I worked on scripting my message and kept calling myself over and over until I finally created something that I thought that the prospect would respond to. And lo and behold, they did. Now, these are just some things that are out there for new salespeople. We're glad you're in the family. Is it difficult and daunting to some? Yes. Is it ultimately what you'll be doing? Probably not, based on statistics. Remember, life's journey is short. We only go around once. I tell people find something that would put a smile on your face each and every day. And if sales is not it, that's all right. You're still a great human being, but find what you really, really want to do in life. And that's how we have a good existence. Now, here's the thing: key account, major account, up and down the street, in home sales, automotive sales, retail, even though we're all family, it's different ways of how we get to the customer. Is it a one sit sale or do we have to get 3 or 4 decision makers to the table? That will never change there. But I'm speaking to you. Maybe you are in major account and you need to be in home. Maybe you're in key account and maybe you need to be in automotive. Research, think, talk, analyze. But I can tell you this: without salespeople, nothing in this great country that we call capitalism under the United States would work. If it takes up molecules and takes up space, there's a footprint. If there's a footprint, we can ask the questions, and then through a methodical feature advantage benefit, we can show the guest why this would help him, her, or their organization. Once again, Brandon Hardison, President of Champion Strategies, with another Hardison's tip for Friday, November the 20th of 2020. We'll never be seeing all those 20s again. So you go out there as always in parting and you make it a champion.